Hello, welcome back. Today we've got another video with the gym Gatheroad. So this was I think this was the first video I posted was this guy, but we got a decent one in the new Canyon map with it, so we're going to take it out again. Gatheroad's still a really cool suit, still got a lot of fun skills and stuff you can do with it, so, it came out pretty good. And quite honestly, it was one of few matches, that I played that day that actually came out well. So this is what we're running with. But you can see this map. I forget its official name, and I'm gonna have to look that up now. But it's a really big canyon with a bunch of these weird little plateaus here. It gives you a interesting field of movement compared to some of the other maps. And we saw this before I did the Violent. I think it was a standard Violent I took out into this map. It's one of the first times I actually ran a match in this map. And so the Violent, uniquely, because it can fly, can do some interesting stuff maneuvering around these little plateau areas, but for everything else, it creates interesting points of cover that I can use to get in pretty close, which is good on this suit because it is a more melee-heavy suit. Not really capitalizing on that at the moment, because, well, specifically here, I've now got, like, the entire team waiting for me to poke my head out, so it's a little bit tricky to actually get in, but we did manage to isolate a guy specifically because of that plateau being there like that. Allowed me to get an angle on one guy without showing myself to the entire team. So it's neat. It creates an interesting duality. The tricky thing I have found, though, which might come up a little bit later, is there's not a lot of lanes here as a result. There's not a lot of areas that I can use to properly flank or anything like that because, while the little plateaus are giving cover, it's not so much a separated area that I can use to maneuver around targets. I can still be cut off no matter which direction I move from. You can see there on the map, when we're in the larger map, you can see that there are some paths along the side. It's just that they ultimately become really long flanking routes. It's not something I can quickly use to route around an enemy and hit them from the side or behind. It's something that I'm going to be taken out of the fight for a good amount of time in order to exploit. Maybe it's still worth messing with, trying to do some exploiting with. Oh, we got this guy messing around. I hate when people do that little wiggle at the corner. I think it's just dumb. I've probably pointed that out before. They're trying to bait a shot, but I find it just means nobody's doing anything. I don't like it. It annoys me. So I just went on top of the plateau. Because it's there and it allows me to. They're all right outside of my range now, though, so I can't move up, and I got the airstrike right on my head. So that's not fun. But we're going to get to look at the map again so you can see what I'm talking about flanking routes. Whenever it decides to... There we go. Yeah, you can see that. You've got those big mountain ranges that kind of separate the map into these weird little boxes. And if I were to go down, I could flank all the way around behind the enemy, come out right in front of their base. But that's a long route to do that. Does actually mean I have a good route to their base if I wanted to do a bomb strike, though. That's interesting. I actually really want to... I'm going to have to go into this map in a training match or something just to check out, like, the detailing on that side. Because you can see there's, like, a crashed ship and whatnot, but... No, so far, I've only played a couple matches in this. I'm glad he shot when he did. You can see we got the downswing on there. I didn't expect to get that downswing, but we got it. For a second, I thought our ally there was an enemy, just because of how far forward I was with everything. I'm glad they moved up for the most part, by the way. I did send the advanced tell. I'm sure you saw that. And this team, part of why this match came out as well as it did ultimately is because this team actually listened to me. And I'm doing my best to make sure that I am advancing pretty far as well and actually supporting them as they move up as well. That's part of why I'm trying to play as aggressive. Well, also I'm in a melee suit. And figured out where the support was. Sadly, I got taken out before I could do anything about it, but, you know, that happens when you're standing up on top in an area where everyone can see you, you know? So that might be on me. But yeah, they're all pushed up there. We've got them pushed back. Looks like it's right on the other side of A in that little box there, you can see. But A is a point that they can come in from, so it's something that we have to be careful of. You can see one of them actually just did it there. If we push too hard, like this plateau is a good point to fight from. The concern is then them spawning right behind us and stabbing us in the back, which it looks like they're kind of in the middle of doing right now. So I'm trying to step back, try and get out of the main line of fire. I kind of got hosed by the entire team there, which is a little bit tricky. Trying to get my hits in where I can, do some damage. Got a decent amount on him, but now with his iframes kicking in, I'm moving on to another target and getting shot. I think that was actually from the enemy support on the other side of the map. Or other side of the box, really. The little box canyon. Oh no, it was a general. Never mind. Yeah, that makes sense. He gets the extra damage against me. I don't like these things. They dominate the Thunderbolt. I actually haven't used mine, and I need to get around to it. But there are, I believe, 3 different Thunderbolt guys that they added. And they just dominate the lower ranks. Every single match I've played in at, like, I think this is a 300-point match. Moving in the back, by the way, to get Airstrike out. So hopefully this will do something. At the very least, it will hopefully kind of cut them off and stop their advance, or like disrupt the enemy team or something. Hoping to get some kills. I don't remember. But yeah, the guys, they added, I'm pretty sure they added 1 for each type. So it's a raid, a general, and a support. I'll have to double check. It's at least a general and a support, even if there's no raid variant, that are all based on the guys we see in Thunderbolt. And it's like all I see at like the 300-point range, and I don't like it. They annoy me. You can see there's one of them there. That's another one on the ridge right there. They just bother me. I don't like them. I don't like only seeing them. It's cool. I think it's cool that they operate as a group as well as they do. Even our team, you can see we've got 2. It's 2 of the generals, specifically, actually. I really do have to double check and see if there is actually a raid version. I thought there was, but maybe I'm thinking of the original guy, too. I don't know. I'm going to have to check it. I was going to have to check. I think with the sabers, my double can only swing once, but I need to check that as well. I think I tried to swing it twice. Beautiful, almost beautiful downswing there. He tackled to get through it, but that did ultimately just leave him open, so I'm moving in and dealing damage where I can. We got great range on that double beam saber, which allowed us to take that out. Ultimately, our buddy got him finished. That's fine, so we're moving on to finding new targets. I'm glad that exchange happened the way it did, because otherwise I probably would have taken a lot of damage, but I've also got my team to back me up here. They are pursuing as well, and with the whole group of us together, we were able to pretty easily take him out. Kind of glad I could finally combo with my weapons a little bit, because I have spent a lot of time being shot at by the enemies themselves. So it's nice to be able to actually get those combos. I mean, good on the enemy, though, mind you, keeping me from being able to do so, backing each other up, but man, it makes it hard to use melee-heavy things. You really have to get a good feel for flanking and when to push up and when to not and all that stuff. Because otherwise you're just going to get shot by a whole team, and then you're not doing any good for anybody. But yeah, Gatheroad is still a fun suit. It's probably going to remain a fun suit. It's got some good skills on it at lower cost. But that is the end of this one, so we're going to leave it there for now. We'll see what I've got next. I've gotten a couple of newer suits. What did I get recently? I got something recently I haven't recorded for yet. I got to double check what it was. But anyway, you'll probably see that eventually. But that'll do it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.